Back on SportsBIT Betting Insight today. Follow us on Twitter at Paulie Howard at Teddy_covers. Big game breakdown. Let's start in the association. As always, live odds, sportsbookreview.com. Clippers hit the road to take on the Hawks. No line. Small chance Blake Griffin plays. Teddy's power rated number, Atlanta 10.5 if there's no Blake Griffin. One of the most obvious handicapping notions anyone could state. The Clippers miss CP3. But the markets haven't been able to come close how to power rate this team without him because it's Austin Rivers and Crawford Jack in threes, and they refuse to pass the ball.
Look at the numbers. The numbers are pretty clear right now. And, of course, that 10.5 might seem a little bit high. That's just my power number. No idea what the market's going to do. But without Chris Paul, the markets haven't come close to gauging how bad the Clippers have been. Look at the numbers. 0-8 straight up. 1-7 against the spread. They failed to cover the number by an average of 9 points per game. That's the average. They're not even close. And of course, not only do they not have Chris Paul, and probably not having great Blake Griffin, and if they do get Griffin, it's going to take a couple of games for Griffin to get his legs underneath him and get acclimated and back in the rotations. Oh, by the way, they just left for a really brutal road trip. They hadn't left California in the entire month of January before losing at Denver on Saturday night. Now 10 of their next 11 are going to be on the road. They have 2 separate trips to the East Coast. They're going to go east and then back west and then back east, all leading up to the All-Star break. So the schedule's getting tough just at the wrong time for LA. I think Griffin's going to play at some point on this trip, but no specific timetable yet for when he's going to play. There's a chance, as you mentioned, he could go this evening.
And Jamal Crawford needs a break. But they've got to give him extra minutes now. He's 37 at the end of March, and he's playing like a guy that turns 37 in a couple of months. You look at this graphic, as I talked about, the last 6 games overall, 11 of 58, 0 for 15 from 3. I mean, this guy's an assassin. He's deadly shooting the ball, but all the issues with when CP3's out because he can't shoot, and Rivers as well, at least Crawford's struggling. And here's Austin Rivers after they were embarrassed in Denver. Quote, you want to fix it, but when the bleep is happening, it's hard to fix. You have to take a step back and learn from it. We let the little things bother us tonight. Once that gets going, you start making more mistakes, end quote, and they were run out in that one.
They sure were. But remember, last week, on air, we were telling you just how lifeless the Hawks were at Detroit. Their entire starting lineup got out-rebounded by Andre Drummond. They may have turned the corner this past weekend. They certainly turned things around. Paul Millsap, a monster weekend. He's been the most consistent Hawk all year, and he brought the spark. A 102-93 win over Chicago, and followed it up with a 110-93 win over Philly. And both those wins, and particularly the one against Philadelphia, particularly impressive. That was their 5th game in 7 nights. They played like they were fresh. They came out strong in the first half. They came out strong again in the second half, and they closed out the fourth quarter on a run. And of course, Millsap has certainly been a monster during this stretch at home. More than 59 minutes, 36 points, 19 boards. The team plus 50 with him on the floor and minus 24 when he was not on the floor, Paul. Clearly, Millsap was a difference maker for Atlanta the last couple of ball games.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.